So this is the best thing, it's called mortar and pestle. The finer grinding is done with the muller and slab, which is, hopefully I bought it. Oh, this one. That's a slab and muller.
Where do you get those?
Cornelis and sell those.
Cornelis and so on.
These ones, you can probably get it from a good kitchen supply place. Probably Cornelis and sell it as
Do
well.
they have to be that big, or can they have smaller ones?
Well,
Doesn't matter.
I wouldn't get much smaller myself. Yeah. You need a good solid table, not like this. I'll try, but I might do it on the floor. Do it on the floor is better. One way that I was told also, which you can do as you go along, is get a diamond stone. I've got my diamonds sharpener.
You mean that flat stone? So you have to roast lapis before you can do this? How do you roast it? Just stick it in?
I've not done myself, but a doctoral thesis I've seen done by David Cranston at the School on preparation of pigment. He had a photograph of Bunsen burner. So any sort of bit equivalent. I use camp, you know, the one is camp stoves.
Yes. Oh, no.
It might work over I don't think a gas element will be hot enough. I'm trying to find out the exact temperature required.
Okay, yeah.
So another way to do it as you go along is just grind it on this.
What's this?
Is that water?
That's just water. The idea is distilled water. So you've got that there, and then you can just sort of take it off and use it. It's a very slow way of doing it. But that's the sort of a very primitive way of doing it.
Are you finding it on street?
This is probably if you had a coarser one, you'd do it more quickly than this.
This is the knife sharpener. What's the technical name for that? The sharpener thing?
So this is a diamond sharpener.
A diamond sharpener.
Diamond sharpener. It's quite expensive, this one. It's £80 or something. So that's quite fine. So that's just a simple way, then you can just paint with that. You can see that that blue there is not a bit exciting blue, but muddy blue, isn't it? So I'll show you this method here, which doesn't take long. I mean, what you can produce in 3 hours would last you for probably a year or two. So initially it's a pounding action, then you can begin to sort of grind it more. You can, if you wish, get a bit of plastic or something, put it around, then tie it up to that so you don't get any loss. If you are doing more poisonous pigment like a vermilion, well, cinnabar is naturally occurring vermilion, you don't want to breathe it in, so you would cover it up. Just look at that. See how that's all one. See how that blue, bright blue differs from that? Exactly the same thing, it's just the size.
Wow.
Okay. So we can start grinding it like this. With azurite and malachite and lapis, as I've often said to you, the deep blue comes with larger crystals. The more you grind, the lighter the blue will go. So that's one advantage of this levigation process. In most cases you want at least to start with a dark rich blue. You can always lighten it. But then of course it's going to be really quite coarse. So how do you get a fine use of a pigment that's still dark? And levigation is the way of getting that. Levigation.
Okay.
TIN. It works on the idea that fine particles will float longer, bigger ones will sink.
But you had quite a big piece. If you buy a, like a small jar, like just grind it not very coarse, but quite coarse, you still have to do this. With just a very little. So that's when you should do this later on.
Well, there's no way you're going to get a deep blue that's fine enough to use in this use levigation.
Okay.
It's just the way things are with it. Suppliers of Azurite will often sell in different grades, different sizes, so you can choose if you want to buy it. But Azurite, at least when I bought it, wasn't that expensive. This was about 110 pounds a kilogram. If you buy it really prepared, it's about 10 times that amount. Why?
Because on the list, you know, you sent out. I bought them small. It was nice to buy, but if you could buy it that way, it's much cheaper.
It's difficult to get good quality stuff, and I bought the whole stock up of the importer of it. I realised it was difficult to get, so and I'll give you the address of the people. Burr House, they call it. Burr House. They import semi-precious stones. Okay.
He'll give me the address. Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's like 5 times as much as.
No, 55 times.
No.
Now don't be tempted to get a really big one. I did buy a big one, but of course the bigger it is, the less pressure per square inch there is. So you'll be floating on the surface. You're not going to do much grind. If it's too,
What's that?
that's a slab and muller.
Muller.
M-U-L-L-E-R. That's a pestle and mortar. So you want this to be a sort of a pasty. If it's too watery, it will go all over the place.
So you just put a spot of water on?
Yeah. You want a it's a nice one. It's a bit you don't want a rustable one of these, because the rust will get in and discolour. So you get a stainless steel one. The one that's clean, not like this. One's tempted to think, oh, preparing pigments will have so much time, but really, once you've got it all set up, you can make enough Azurite that lasts for a year, probably in at least no more than half a day, even perhaps less. We'll stop later, that's enough for the meantime. Azurite is a calcium copper carbonate. I think Arizona has one of the best qualities. The best quality Azurite, I think, is called nodules of Azurite. England does produce Azurite, but I don't think it's a very high quality. You might be able to get some good Azurite if they go into a high street gems. You know, you've got these gem shops you can buy for gems.
Yeah.
just be aware, don't be fooled by stones that have been dyed blue. Some they've dyed them blue. I call it azurite, but it might be ordinary quartz dyed blue.
What was it called in the
Nodules of azurite.
How would you know if they've done that?
Well, if it's a rough stone, they would have done it. But if it's a polished one, they may or may not have it. I don't know. They also tell you, like Burhouse, sell all sorts, but they'll tell you if it's been stained. Now you can just grind it and leave and use it as it is. But you find that's a mixture of coarse and fine, and if you're just doing a blue background, that's okay. Once you've painted the background that's a bit gritty, paint it. When it's all dry, half an hour later, just rub it with your fingers and the big grit will come off. But if you're doing, say, garments, it's going to be rather awkward. The bits of stone everywhere. So this levigation gets around that problem. The bigger stones make it, you can hear the crunching sound, can't you? And as it gets finer, the sound changes. The big one there. Now, if it weren't a high quality one, what you'd have to do is you would break it up in that into sort of pea-sized sizes, shapes, a bit smaller, and then, if you like a magnifying glass, take the what are called inclusions, foreign bits of metal, you don't want, take them out physically by hand. That's the only way you can do it, really.
Can we have a look at this stone just to
Yeah,
see
of course,
close by so that we... Sparkling bits in it,
Beautiful, isn't it? Gorgeous. Oh, that's good.
seems to have extra sparkle.
Burhouse is the name of an importer. B-U-R House.
Oh, very sparkly.
But it could be that they won't supply small amounts. I know they do have a stone shop attached, I think, and they can sell small amounts. Otherwise, just try one of these gem shops around, see if you can find it there.
So it's very
You can buy these slabs from an art shop, but you could just go to a ordinary glass supplier, take an either sheet of plate glass frosted on one side.
It's frosted, not sandblasted.
Same thing. I don't know how they frost.
So is it the frosted, you use the frosted side?
Yeah, I mean this is smooth one side, frosted the other. I don't know what the advantage is of frosted. It might help the grinding.
Got a bit of tooth to it, hasn't it?
Because it catches the
Yeah.
pigment.
Yeah.
Otherwise it would, yeah.
We'll have a go, all of you, just to get a feel of it. And then we're going to put it in one of these and stir it up, and then almost immediately pour the coloured water off into one of these. Then we're going to, you can either then stir it again, do the same, so you have and then you can then, so you have a bit of residue, you can either regrind that and repeat it, but you'll find that the different grades have different shades of blue, so you end up with 4 or 5 grades of blue depending on the size of the pigment. And all of those will be useful. You want to set it down. Just try to keep it off the edge, so just go on over the place. You can tell with your brown pigment. Done it. Been there, done it. One of photograph of it, it's proof. Yeah, larger.
Okay.
press them quite firmly? Or, yeah.
If it starts to stick, you need a bit more water. But if you have too much water, the water will take a sort of
It smells very earthy.
will create a sort of a separating membrane which you don't want. So it's sort of that sort of syrupy feeling that you want.
Go one way or the other. Oh,
Start putting things in.
Aidan, can you not like grind up gold or silver and things like that, or does it just not
Oh
grind?
no, well you can with silver.
You
I
know
think.
all the bits of gold we've got left
Oh
over?
yeah. I don't think grind like that. You just. Well, you've got to have
You
it
might, yeah.
in a saucer or something.
Yeah.
Just with your finger.
In the sauce with your
Yeah, just a saucer with your finger.
Have you made
That's
silver?
right.
Gamma already. Yeah.
sorry, what was that in a saucer with your finger?
Gold leaves. You need lots and lots of gold leaves and you will have that much of the but it's
Like shell gold.
sugar or water or something.
Gumara, that's
Oh,
Yeah,
this
gum
gum
arrow.
on my
Only,
brand
yeah.
balcony.
Yeah, you just
Okay,
basically
so you tap it together.
just tap it and you tap it and you tap it
Azurite is
and
more
you tap it.
greeny blue.
And you tap it actually for a long
Lapis is more
time.
really blue.
And
So but it's
then,
sort of
yeah,
different
you
blue.
just
What's the
time,
number? This is
3
the
days,
Azurite.
12 hours maybe, 3 hours. Yeah.
Right. And then you reconstitute it with a drop of water, don't you? And then
Well, basically you just leave it and if it's it can be dry, but yeah, you just
Yeah.
put a drop of water and
And then you can use it with
paint and use it.
put salt in or something. Taste the water.
No, just water.
oh,
We keep grinding the same.
Enthusiasm.
That's your experience of Europe.
Yeah.
Grinding. Should have another one.
it's all right actually because I've had a go at this before, but we've already got brown pigments. But the she said if you grind it up, it brings out the colour which is making it up.
Yeah,
Actually, if you
well, it's
grind
probably
it,
great glass.
still have a go, but that was already ground and
Be
everything
safer.
to buy it round up. And some of them it's quite rough. You get them to grind.
I'm going to ask
Yeah.
somebody that works with glass. They should know.
Always very rough.
Yes, it's like that.
So now,
Fluffy, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want that zig white very much.
So how long would you do this for? Just until you can't feel any...
well, I'd like to see the range of colours from coarse to fine. So for this purpose, we'll put it in after everyone's had a go, so you can see the
I'll let
range.
you
of
hold it
colours
then.
and
We
different
have to have a go.
Aidan, you know you put the water in it. Why is that? So it doesn't fly about? Or...
Yeah.
Kind of sticks.
Because I had some, you know, when you buy pigments, some of them are quite coarse. I ground them up before, but I haven't added water.
Yeah.
Would I? Is there a
I
time-
suppose water's added just to
Only if you're going to do the litigation process.
levigation. Yeah.
Litigation. Litigation, levitation.
Levitation, we get there. At the 3 levels. Grind about with water. But if you were just going to
I'll
make
do it by drying that so that it doesn't go all over the place. Get it dry, and drying.
You can store it with water, but we always...
Oh, so it's drying very
shortly.
Everybody try.
Yeah.
isn't it?
You put it in a jar.
Oh, go on. Yeah.
Okay. There's some pigments when you paint, when they're dry, they go light, like cherry birds. So, oh no, that's not another green. But then you put a wash of Asian water on, and that permanently saturates and all the green comes back.
At
this pack, there's 3 grades of Azurite. You weren't sure which one
Yeah.
was preferable to buy. So
Well, probably the finer one, even though it'll be less of lighter blue. Most people find the coarser one is not really usable for most purposes.
who else wants to go?
Going.
Going. Thank you. Want to get the watery bit.
Here we go.
Going to try and put this on a CD or something, then post it to. If I can put this on a CD, I could post it to.
You're a lifesaver for us all.
Oh, if I
You're
put
our
it on
official informer.
I'll build the levitation and store it Informer.
From the word inform to
yes.
inform. It's like the levitation.
The levitation process, I love it.
So,
Right, next.
okay. Shouldn't have put so much water in there. It's a bit difficult to pick up. I've blinded a bit more. Now you can, once you've made your pigment, you can either store it as a paste, and then you add your egg in, not to the paste, but you take a bit of paste out, add egg into it, or you can store it as a powder. So if you're going to store it as a powder, once you've got your different grades, you would, after half a day, you can tip off the clear water, and then just leave all that to dry, and then take that out, then just dry grind it, just to break it up. It's not really grinding, it's just breaking it up as having been damp, it will hold the bits together. If you store wet, you've got to be careful it doesn't go mouldy. So,
So you decant this into the jars and then
you
let
can't.
it stand.
Well, you see what I'm going to do. For levigation, you've got to put it in the water and then you pour off the coloured water and do those things. But you could just store that now in a screw top jar and just use that as it is, but add that paste to the egg as you're mixing each day. It can get a bit mouldy.
Yeah.
Is it common that I can take this through the paste of different pigments and store them that way?
I don't know.
Because I got the question of her, I told about with the
We do it
egg oil tempera. And she always left it the day before, so she thought it was weird that we added the water at the same time because the paint became better when you had left the water,
Yeah, there's the
pigment. And I couldn't answer her. So
the dry pigments
yeah.
can sort of just stick together a bit, but if you put them in water, they sort of not dissolve, but sort of
Yeah.
part of it. Yeah, so that's the ideal.
It is. Yeah. So she was right.
Right.
So this is distilled water.
It should be, but it's not.
Okay.
I'm getting rushed just to.
It's Shrewsbury tap.
Even the you can see in the water different shades of it.
Yeah.
With lapis lazuli, you have a very different method to get the super quality. You grind it, then you make a dough out of wax, linseed oil, and I think it's resin. And you knead that either in water, or some recipes say lye, and then a glue is leached out of it, and that blue is the actual colorant part of lapis, because only a small percentage of the stone is the actual colorant, all the rest are other stones. So you knead it, and then after a while you pour off that coloured water, and that's your highest quality. Then you carry on kneading with some more water, you pour that off, and that's slightly lower quality. Then at the very end you have, I don't know why, but they call it ash blue. That's more like a grey blue. So that ash blue would then be used as a sort of undercoat for the more expensive upper blue. And that's why lapis lazuli, when prepared with this Chinini method, it's sometimes called, is so expensive, literally more expensive than gold. The last time I saw it, about that much was £1,200. It's just the labour involved. Lapis isn't that expensive. It's about £900 a kilogram, but it's really the labour involved.
Not that expensive.
Do you always use real pigment, like blue colours in your icons, or do
I
you use
do.
the artificial one too?
No. Well, no. No. I don't like ultramarine much. If I do use ultramarine, I have a bit of yellow oak or something. So. Okay, so what we're going to do now. So just so we out of interest, that's number
Yeah,
one
you
there.
you mark it, yeah, like grades.
Yeah. You should be able to tell from the size of it, but rather crude system here.
You've been writing quite a lot of times on this?
Okay. So we stir it, and almost immediately pour the stuff out. So all this works on the system of the bigger parts sink more quickly than the smaller parts. Just wait a second. Somebody used to smell it. They had casein out of them. Wait a bit longer for this and get finer stuff.
Stinks.
Look at those two there from the top down.
Det är skillnad, eller hur? It's like magic.
What's the smell?
Which is the better quality now, number 4 or number 1?
Well, the darker will tend to be the larger, but then what you can do is, I mentioned about if you have particles with dust on, they won't be as good as without the dust. So we'll just see. We'll just see which. They're all going to be usable, but it just depends what blue you want.
Right, so you decant again then, is it?
Yeah, I mean after a while, when the top water is entirely clear, we can tip that off, then we'll see what ranges of colour we've got.
But generally you leave darker colors more, yeah, more quantity. Because it's used more.
I mean the idea would be a dark rich colour, which is very, very fine, because you can always lighten it, but you can't darken a light colour. That's ideal.
Would you use this one also?
Do you want another jar?
Yeah, I just trying to think what to do, but
Do you want
it's
another jar?
that'd be ideal.
I might have a
If these
spare
one that
jar.
size.
Oh, no,
No glass.
medium-sized one.
Leave it in there.
What we'll do is I'll use this one here.
Oh,
Should
it's a
someone
good one.
do that? Oh, are you using it? Yeah, be
I
great.
just empty the water.
Yeah, thank you.
I've got one here as well, Aidan, I don't know. Is that any good?
Use that one, yeah.
Why don't you mum it?
That's ready for the next one.
We'll use that one as well later. So you can see that's a very dark blue, but it's a bit too cool. I mean, you could keep that aside, but probably it's too.
Would you not just regrind it?
Yeah, we can do that.
That's a lot darker than this.
Yeah.
Very